the one-man show. One man.
You are now tuned in to the One Man Show. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. One Man Show. You are watching the One Man Show.
Alrighty then, so what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about what does it mean to be happy in life? Well, I can only talk from my perspective, obviously. I can't talk from the perspective of a sheep that's happy being in the field chewing grass, or from the perspective of a moo cow happy chewing grass. In fact, some human beings are quite happy chewing grass. But what does it mean to be happy? Well, as far as I'm concerned, I wrote about it yesterday saying I've been tremendously fortunate to grow up on planet Earth during this time. We don't have the devastation of the Victorian times, where squalor and disease were rife. We live in a time where antibiotics have been effective, but now they're becoming less effective. What does that mean for the human beings? Does it mean that antibiotics are going to stop being effective, which will bring disease back? It does make me wonder. I've been born onto the planet where I can jump into a vehicle, I can put motion lotion in the vehicle, and I can drive wherever I want. I could go around the world if I wanted, on a motorbike, on a plane or train. But as we know, fossil fuels are becoming less. So looking for alternative methods to create transportation. I haven't walked for a while. Talk about out of breath. I'm going to go on to my seat. My seat, nobody else's seat. We live in a time that is so rich in many ways. We've got so much on our doorstep. If we're lucky enough, we live in a reasonably nice house with a roof, running water, heat, a method to cook food. We can just go a couple of miles down the road, maybe even closer, and buy whatever we want. I remember my grandparents in Crook in County Durham. There used to be the onion man would come round on his pedal cycle with strings of onions draped all over his cycle and round his neck. And my grandma would buy onions off him. Hey, that's only 50 years ago. Now you can go into a supermarket or a grocery store and buy all different kinds of onions. I've noticed recently, because I like eating grapes on a night. No bloody good for me because I'm diabetic and they're just little bombs of sugar. But they come from Chile. Transported from Chile, of all places. That to me just seems bloody bonkers. But it enabled us to eat fruit that within my childhood you couldn't get in the winter. So what does happy being mean? Or what does being happy mean? What does happy being mean? Well, I don't know, but being happy means something. It means whatever you want it to mean. I believe as well there are more people depressed in this world now than ever before. And it's down to social media. The children of today are seeing posts on social media that are saying, look what I'm doing, and they're not doing it, so they feel inadequate. So we're also in a time where I think being unhappy is probably the largest amount of people in our lifetime. And that's not going to get any better. If you go to places such as India or Bosnia, and you see the devastating, poor level that people live in, and then you come back to our country, you're going to be grateful for what you've got. But we all have so much thrown at us these days through the news of, look how good this guy's doing. Trump, for example, he entered a competition and he won. Never everybody hates him. He didn't win by default. People voted the bugger in. We have a similar situation where Theresa May, she's got no backbone, she's got no personality. I think she's bloody awful. She's just, But she's doing what she thinks is right. And to me, that means that you can't please all the people all the time. It's absolutely impossible. But in today's world, that's what we try and do. We want to please everybody. We put a post on social media. If it doesn't get a like within a minute, it's, oh my God, nobody loves me anymore. But we have an opportunity to be happy. You can do, be and have anything you want to be. All you've got to do is make the decision and bloody well go for it. There's a saying that says you have to jump to reach whatever you want to reach, because of that fear aspect. The fear aspect of, what if it goes wrong? Yeah, but what if it goes right? What if it actually achieves something? But that fear that's in your mind stops you from doing it. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, the farmers are up. Fear is an amazing, powerful emotion that we all face. But what if? There's also a 5-second rule that's being bandied about. And that is, if you think of something, you've got 5 seconds in which to make a move towards that you desire. Otherwise, your mind starts to take over and puts in that seed of doubt. There's something called the 5-second rule. That 5-second rule means I want to jump out of an aeroplane. If you don't make that move within 5 seconds to book that flight, to book that course, the negativity in your mind is going to say, but what if the parachute doesn't open? I've never done a parachute jump, but you hear people who have done one and the fear is huge, but what if it doesn't open? But when it does and people land it, oh my God, that's the best thing I've ever done. They say that happiness is on the other side of fear. And until you do something, you're never going to know. You're never going to experience that elation of what if. I've experienced it a couple of times in the last few years by going to a country that I didn't really want to go to. Because what if? What if it doesn't go right? What if I get injured? What if I die? Well, if you die, you're bloody dead. You've got no feelings after that anyhow. So it's something which happiness is an individual thing. We all have different levels of what we think happiness is. But so many of us live unhappy lives because we fear the what if. We stay in relationships because we fear what if. We stay in workplaces because we fear what if. My motorbike work, what if people don't like what I've got? Well, I've actually been out in the last 2 weeks, and do you know something? People actually love what I've got. I don't want to go into a relationship because what if the same happens? But what if it doesn't? But that's my choice, and if it's my choice, I've got to be happy with that choice. So today, make a choice of something you've been wanting to do. What's the worst that can happen? So until the next time, bye-bye for now.
You are watching the One Man Show. Ooh.